Yeah, it's in the stream starting sequence, so I'm gonna go live very shortly. You guys ready? All right, Alex, just make sure if you're gonna navigate over to the YouTube page, you have your shit muted. Otherwise, yep, beautiful, beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys, I'm gonna be switching. Yep, no, restream bot seems to be on. So. Really? Stream Elements bot running a few seconds ago. Maybe it just started up late. Not too sure. That's might be a little too late for me to troubleshoot that. Not entirely sure even how to fix this bot, but let me take a quick peek. Damn, I already closed my restream window. Maybe next time. Alright. Oh, they can hear me still? Oh, then I'll shut it down. Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update for Monday, November 16th, 2020. I'm Crypto Jack, sitting in for Justin Wise today, but alongside me I have, of course, our two analysts, Jason and Alex. How are you guys doing today?
16-7, we're doing it.
Yes.
Hello.
Yep, that's Alex. We got Jason in here. Wonderful. Yeah, I guess we're assaulting 16.7 as we speak, everybody, and looks like we might be ready to attack that big 17K above us. And maybe even new all-time highs by the end of the year. I guess we're going to find out shortly. I'm just going to do a quick integrity check here, see if all the audio is working good. I think we're good. Audio's good on this front.
I've got plenty of integrity. What are you talking about?
Integrity.
Switch my integrity farms, boys. I'm gonna quickly check my crypto bubbles here. Switch it back to the daily. What do we got here? Well, I see there's a kind of a small sea of green in the alt space today. Maybe we'll dive into some of these big movers. Some of these I don't even recognize. Like, what's ESD? Empty set dollar. Either
Oh
way,
wow, this is the daily. This has really turned a lot more green than it was even just a few minutes ago.
I know, right?
Oh.
Everything up about 10%, almost double digits. With some of the biggest.
This is interesting. I would really want to see Bitcoin dominance after taking a look at this, because earlier today Bitcoin dominance looked like it might even reverse and take 66%, which is, kind of the horizontal resistance level that we've been looking at previously.
Right.
Really
Yeah, definitely gonna have to dive into the dominance chart later for the audience. I do see coins like Waves, Litecoin, ESD, Dash, Aave or Aave, Sushi, and this new one, this Airweave or Arweave. Seems to be some of the biggest performers for today. R, correct. There is actually another coin called R, ARRR,
I know there
the
is.
pirate coin.
Yes.
Somebody was putting out to that.
You're telling me that there's a guy who speaks like a pirate on our team?
Not quite.
No, there's an actual R coin.
No, I know. Remember Steve the pirate from Dodgeball? It's pretty funny.
I haven't seen Dodgeball in a lot of years, but all right. So before we dive into the charts and have maybe Alex take it away with the Bitcoin analysis, I'm just going to quickly say hello to everybody in the live chat. I see we got 32 people watching right now with 15 likes. Guys, don't hold back. Hit that like button if you can. ANCAP Futures is here. I see Alexander King. What's up, King? Mr. Ether as always. Longbeard. We got Sneaks123 saying hello in the live chat. Longbeard, Boris Bitcoin, S Hyatt saying evening. Andrew Munns. Let's see here. Oh, my live chat keeps jumping a little bit. Smiles J. And super chat from GBU Professor Wally saying, would love to see analysis of USD Uni on GDAX. Learn, earn, don't get burned. I've been using 1 hour candles. All right, very cool. We will definitely dive into the Uniswap token chart because I'm kind of curious myself. I heard the Uni is rocking right now, so I'd like to see my Uni bags get pumped again. A couple more hellos coming in. One from Mikhail Kintner. Hello, folks. And Melanation says, yellow, everybody. Yellow to you, Melanation. All right, I'm going to quickly switch the scene over to the Discord scene. I got Alex's chart in front of everybody. So, Alex, whenever you're ready to take it away, I think we're ready for you.
All right. So yeah, so I've got Uni USDT open right now. I would consider this a place to take profits and exit from Uniswap USDT. As you can see, we're getting a very strong sell signal here on time transformation. We have a couple dojis in a row and a large wick up into resistance here. So I would, if you're in Uniswap, I would gracefully exit up in this area right now. I would fully expect us to come back down and retest $3 from this area. I don't know exactly how it'll happen, but we could retest back up here. Maybe that's where you exit. But I would take the daily signal if you're in here, and then it was quite a weekend for Uniswap. This is up 33% from roughly $3, $4.
Yep.
I mean,
Big
man,
weekend.
just looking at that on just the broad scale. I mean, look how well time transformation did there. If you were just following those signals on get in, get out based off time transformation, you made a monster trade right there on Uni.
Yeah. So I would not rush into my short in this area on lower time frames. As you can see, we'll probably come back up and retest this area just a little bit as resistance, but we're putting in a head and shoulders pattern here on lower time frames. We have to retest this area, and then by retesting this area, at that point we'll have broken out of this we'll be broken out of this upward trend, and on increasing sell volume, I definitely want to be out of that. So higher time frames, lower time frames, both suggesting that run on Uniswap is over, at least for this week. We can look at the weekly and be like, oh hey, we're getting a solid. I mean, there's really not enough data to tell, but we're getting a time transformation cross up. But I mean, you can easily test back down in this area over the next couple of weeks first. So.
And point, Mr. Ether's like, so time to short it, and I would completely disagree with that because you have a break of trend to the upside here. Yes, of course, we're expecting some retracement, but I don't think that just because you're supposed to exit here and take profit does not mean you're supposed to be shorting this, because this absolutely could just keep continuing on you. But in terms of what we're looking at, this would be a great time to take profit, wait for a little bit of exhaustion, the sellers sell off, and you might get a better entry on another run up.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even below the 12-hour baseline,
Yeah.
guys. I mean, we can easily come back down and retest this. The 1-day baseline doesn't, the Hull 60 does not exist yet for Uniswap USDT. So, I'm sure we can do an EMA 13 or something like that. But but it's beside the point, because I really want to focus on the time transformation signal, and these dojis candles, which are suggesting a reversal in the spot. So. Those are my thoughts. I really want to come back down here and get back into this consolidation area that price likes. We're at resistance right now. That's cool. I mean, I guess you could scalp short it, but we're still not even below the 12-hour baseline. So I mean, we could trade sideways up here just a little bit before we finally come back down to this area to trade sideways for much longer. While price bases down here, and maybe there's a continuation if there's a further alt season. Yeah, I don't want to speculate too much on the future for it.
Well, there you have it, Mr. Wally. I hope that answers some of your questions on Uniswap token today. I see super chat just came in from Philip Carr of the Manchester Mint Crypto, the famous
Philly.
Philip
What's up?
Carr. He just dropped a 20 British pounds on the live
probably
chat.
excited.
Shout
He's
outs to
probably
We
Mr.
don't
excited.
know
Philip
how
Carr.
much freedom dollars that is, but thank you. Thank you.
Yep, as he
He's-
says,
he's-
he's paying a show up late fee, so
Aw.
you're not too late, Philip. You haven't really missed much. We're just about to probably get started on the Bitcoin analysis, but before we do, I'm just going to point out that Andrew Munns corrected Jason. He said that was basketball, not. What was the movie you mentioned?
Nope, I know for a fact I was right on. A pirate named
Oh,
Steve was in Dodgeball.
Gotcha. Well, he says it was in the movie basketball, so
Well,
maybe.
basketball. It was
Do Steve Pirates?
Little Bitch, You're My New Best Friend. That's a different movie,
Well, there
but
you have it.
basketball is also a great movie.
There we go. David Rice says hello. Hello, David Rice. All right, back to Alex. Alex, what do you say? Take us through maybe Bitcoin. Let's dive into the one everybody wants to hear about.
Okay, let's do it.
It's doing okay.
I don't have anything drawn here. Okay, this is the currently intact uptrend here on CME. Here, I have this ascending triangle pattern drawn here. This is another one. We go on the 4-hour, you'll see why this makes a little bit more sense.
I have that mapped out very similar.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish I could say I had it mapped out like this all weekend, but it's really like after we bounced off of here, it's like, well, clearly this was support. So we've got a fresh continuation right here, and currently we're looking. There's a lot of clear sky above us. There's really only a couple of resistance levels left. We really got to go all the way back in time to 2018 if we want to get a sense of where current resistance is. I would classify us as in resistance as we speak. So let's zoom in here. Boy.
We ain't at 3K anymore.
Yeah. So this shelf of volume right here is visible as this was a liquidity zone for price way back in 2018. So after price broke down from its 20K high, it was bought back up over the span of 3 weeks to the 1700s, where it made its second and final high before breaking down into the bear market. So the high of this candle is 1700, roughly 17,150 on Coinbase, like 17,175. On BitMEX, the high of this candle is 17.4. So of course, futures was extended higher than spot in this spot. So I really feel like this is still a heavy area of resistance. It's a new high, but it's not, I wouldn't classify it as a breakout per se. If you're not already long, I don't like longing this spot. Again, a sufficient swing position would have your stop all the way back in this area right here. So, taking a long here to have your stop down here, it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's no risk reward for that. Because, we could come up here, we could test 18, 19, and then we break back down to this area. So that's why I'm not really suggesting that people rush into this spot. I will also note that, as you may imagine, funding is rising. Oops, I have pressed this twice.
Going into a little bit of premium.
Yep. There we go. Yeah. So this is I have this drawn from the high of the daily candles over in 2018. So you can see we're facing resistance in this area. interestingly, Ethereum was looking pretty weak in this spot. Let me, here we go. This kind of got,
Daily ain't looking so bad.
yeah. So on lower time frames, we had a breakdown of this ascending wedge, and we're approaching resistance again. And while I had been looking at the daily, expecting probably a breakdown from this area to retest the 420 range right over here. I gotta say, looking at the weekly on Ethereum USD, it kind of seems like
The weekly
we're,
indecision candle did not break very low.
yeah, we're holding over weekly resistance. Like this was weekly resistance right back here. We'll even put a line here. Boom, so now it's visible right here. So this was weekly resistance here for well over 4 weeks. We break above it, and last week, and this is a closed candle, we held above this resistance here. Resistance now support on Ethereum USD. So while originally when I was looking at this area, it looks kind of like this could be a liquidity grab of this wick right here. We could break back down. But with us holding over this weekly resistance, I would classify this as more bullish than I otherwise would have. See, so far we're getting a decent follow through on. I would love to see this 12-hour crossover, but we won't get that until the end of the daily close. Ethereum, Bitcoin, however, still looking pretty weak in this spot. I would imagine that we'll at least break down here if we don't break down a little further, just to retest this low area. So currently, even though Ethereum is looking kind of bullish, Bitcoin is still looking more bullish. It's still the better option. Roughly. Yeah, so I would, we haven't broken out yet on Ethereum versus Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is still the better choice as per the choice between the two. What do you want to look at next, Jason? What are you thinking?
Let's look at the traditional market, see what's happening.
Okay.
I mean, it's a very interesting day in terms of, I think there's been some new all-time highs hit today, correct?
Yes. Actually, yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll come back and we'll look at Bitcoin dominance, and we'll talk about alts.
Yep.
How's that sound? All right. So the big news this morning, for those of you who live under a rock or something, was the vaccine news. So Moderna announced that they also have a successful vaccine, but it's more successful. It's 95% successful, and you don't have to have it at like negative 70 degrees Celsius. You can have it like, in a normal refrigerator for 30 days or so, which is great, because unless you live in like Los Angeles or Miami or something like that, good luck having facilities nearby that have ultra cold refrigeration. So
liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, so I thought that they could not top last week's vaccine news, but they did, with more vaccine news that was better. So
They've done it.
yeah, so we gapped up today on this news. So the Dow Jones today gapping up to a new all-time high and then trading downwards on the day. That's normally to be expected. That normally happens when we gap up. We tend to trade downwards afterwards. And then the people who, the people who got the pre-market purchases, aka the institutions, they're the ones who really see the most benefit of the price move.
Yeah.
Unless you're a swing trader, in which case you saw the benefit of all of this, which is case, and that's why people often say you'll really see the real money when you're doing swing trading rather than doing scalps. So that's the Dow Jones. The SPY, similar, except we did not gap up to a new all-time high. We gapped up to retest resistance. What we're just kind of trading at right now. But we're trading it at reduced selling volume. I'm not seeing a whole lot of selling volume here. And looking at the 3-day, which is also going to close at the end of today, we're holding pretty strong above this resistance right here.
That closes today too, right?
Yeah, that closes in 2.5 hours.
That'd be an interesting close.
Yeah, so it's not a bullish engulfing candle. We're still at resistance here. I'm not counting this as super bullish, but we are over this resistance level right here. We're holding it. We've held it for 6 days now. So, I mean, more can you ask for? Weekly, similarly, just hanging out here at resistance. So last week we gapped up here, and we haven't really touched that area since then. It's a little concerning, but I don't want to read too much into it, especially because basically everybody is pumping. Basically everything is pumping as I speak. So it sounds a little foolish, I think, to be bearish in the face of that. That being said, let's come back over here to the Nasdaq, which did not gap up today on the news. As you can see, like, it closed the weekend here and then it opened today here. Or wait, no, I'm doing that wrong. So it
came up a little bit, but not nearly as much as the other markets.
No, yeah, here it closed here and it opened here. It didn't do it at all. We're still what I would classify as inside of the symmetrical triangle pattern that we have held inside. If you think about it, this makes a kind of sense that the Nasdaq did not respond as well to this vaccine news as the other indices, the other reflections of the traditional markets did. And that's because the big tech stocks are kind of dependent on people staying home during the lockdowns. Amazon, Amazon, Tesla, all these other ones. People are sorry, I just got really distracted by something. Yeah, essentially, people aren't stuck at home if there's a vaccine, buying stuff on Amazon. So Amazon stock is going to be reflecting. Amazon stock price is going to be reflecting that news, which is bearish for Amazon and and the big tech stocks alone. So what we have seen respond really well to this news is the Russell. Let's open up the Russell. Where's a good Russell here? Okay, well, we won't look at the Russell right now, but small cap SPY is showing this. We're seeing a large divergence in small caps where the vaccine news is way better for them. I mean, if there's going to be fewer lockdowns in the future, that means more small businesses are likely to survive. Versus, the big tech companies, which were always slated to be too big to fail. The government was always going to come in and save them if anything went wrong. So any bad news is good for tech stocks. Any good news is bad for tech stocks. And thankfully, not perversely, good news is actually good news for small caps. So set on over here to the currency indices. Dixie, it's facing a lot of resistance at it's facing a lot of resistance in this spot. So this 4-hour candle is ugly right here, by the way. It's like this is another wick up into resistance. At this point,
I think you're gonna get continued downside.
It feels like it, because what is the contention that we've made? That when stocks are bullish, when stocks are bullish, that means that investor sentiment is such that they want to sell their dollars into stocks. They want to buy stocks when it's bullish. And then when investor sentiment is bearish, they want to get back into the US dollar. They want to sell their stocks, and so demand for the dollar becomes bullish. So we did see the stock market gap up today, and the dollar is down today. That jives with our current prevailing theory on how these markets are connected right now. perhaps we could consider it slightly bearish for the markets that the dollar isn't just sliding into oblivion right now. But it's still not great in this spot. Yeah. This weekly wick up into this support here, resistance here. I do not like that. This weekly candle right here, not good looking. Let's take a look at some of the US dollar pairings, see if we can get a better sense of the market right now. As you can see, basically everything is trading up against the dollar right now. The Australian dollar continuing to do better than almost everything else, as I suggested earlier in the month. British dollar surprisingly holding up very well in this spot. I'm still waiting on a breakdown of this, but hasn't come through. Canadian dollar trading at resistance, which is this area up here. Whoops. So we can easily get a breakdown from this area right here. But the daily is showing us is holding above support. So something to look out for right here. Japanese yen got that recovery that we were talking about last week. Now it's looking bullish again. So I really don't know what's going on with the Japanese yen here. It's kind of, when you see this multi-year pattern, it's almost hard to believe that could the Japanese yen go parabolic from this spot if it breaks through? I will say this. The Japanese stock market is looking very good in this spot. If we head on over to the CFDs for the different indices.
Yeah, I remember a while ago someone was telling me, like, if you're gonna get into something, get into small cap Japanese stocks. Like, it was like 2 years ago. And I mean, they've been doing well.
Well, I mean, if you got in 2 years, you would have been waiting around for a while. But if you got in March, then you're gold, like everything else.
Yeah.
So, yep, this is Japanese stock market making a new all-time high today. Generally, the stronger a stock market is, the better it is for that country's currency. The only reason that is not true for the U.S. is because the U.S. dollar is a reserve currency, and so everybody sells into it. But generally, this reflects well. The better a stock market is, the more people want to get into that country's currency. It's like, oh, well, of course we're going to hold more of the Australian dollar when the Aussies are doing very strong. Same for the Japanese and the Japanese yen. Who else is breaking out to new all-time highs? India breaking out to new all-time highs. Hong Kong, because they're under China's thumb, they are still kind of trading sideways and have been for a little while. Some strong signs here, but until we get a breakout of this structure, I'm not really interested in taking it. France and the other EU economies, they're making new highs today, but they're not new all-time highs. France, EU, Netherlands back here. Ooh. Yeah, kind of gapped up today, but trading downwards. So I would classify this as being at resistance. I would expect probably a pullback from this spot even. China made a new all-time high earlier in the week, and I would say it's still strong and still holding above resistance turn support here. So I would say China looks to be making new all-time highs soon, but not on today's news. Aussie doing well, kind of looking a little bit like, interestingly, looking like the French and the European economies. It's concerning.
I'm going to take this opportunity to cut in real quick and just kind of review some of the comments we've had come in over the last little bit. Once again, shout outs to a few of the super chats that came out from Wally and Philip. And I see a comment here from, let's see here. Andrew Munn says, "You guys have fun. I gotta go scale a couple coins out before the retrace later." So Andrew Munn's dipped from the stream. I guess he heard what he needed to hear from our analysis and decided to fade out some of his positions. Doug says, "How bad of an idea is it to short Bitcoin at this point? Tight stop loss." What do you guys think? Is this a shortable spot in the market for Bitcoin? Would anybody here be brave enough to do it?
I just don't think
I
it's the
wouldn't,
intelligent
because
move.
I would love to see if I saw a blow off top. If there was just like a huge wick on Bitcoin suddenly, bam, sign me up for that short. I'm in. I think Bitcoin's so totally overextended in this spot. I mean, hello, if you look at the 3-day, time transformation, I don't think we've ever had Bitcoin this overextended. Look at this, guys. It's a almost 8 standard deviations at this point. It's ridiculous. But it's a bullish trend, and we could have just like a big wick up to 18K, and then we dump down to 15. I don't want to get in front of that.
You're definitely catching all sorts of cutlery at this point.
Yeah, I'm not shorting this spot right here, but if we got, even if we just got a breakdown of this uptrend right here, because I think I have this drawn out. Where is it? I had because this is a parabolic trend right here. So if you draw this out on linear, you will see like a steadily increasing trend line. Do I have it drawn on here? No, I don't. I guess I must have forgotten to save that drawing. Okay, well, I will redraw it for you guys. That's okay. I'm not so lazy as to not do that. This will do. Get rid of some of these for visibility.
As Andrew Munn says to Doug, you'd be doing yourself a disservice. Don't even try to short right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're bullish, guys. I mean, just let it go, and then at least like what Alex was trying to do, at least wait for some evidence that we are reversing. Like, wait for that blow up top. Wait for that break of trend. Like right now, we are just parabolic. I mean, it's kind of silly to think about shorting this.
Yeah, maybe if you really want to look at it that way, you can think like, oh, there's an ascending wedge forming. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't even go that far. I would just say, like, if you can find a break in a trend, or like if we get below some sort of important baseline. Here, let's look at the baselines. 12-hour baseline, back above it. It looked like we were showing some weakness right here, and if you shorted into that, you got screwed. Daily baseline. What can I say? We're still above the daily baseline when we have been since 10-7. Yeah. Which is when, I should have stopped being as bearish as I was, but hindsight's 2020. So I would not short into this yet, but I do still feel like this is a heavy area of resistance. It's a historical area of resistance. And I do expect Bitcoin to obey that historicity, but at what price? I couldn't tell you.
Well, there you have it. Hopefully that gave Doug a little bit of guidance on how to handle this. We are kind of trend following traders around here. We don't really look for the big Hail Mary reversals. Not when things are looking this bullish and kind of parabolic lately on Bitcoin. I think it would be dangerous to short here, but hey, maybe you're going to time that big 40% correction just right. Maybe we'll be eating crow. Smiles J, did you hear about the $100 million short on Bybit? It was an article, and since then it's only been heading towards 17K.
Yeah, because even they can get wrecked, people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, just because someone put out a big short doesn't mean the market's going to go down. I mean, think about it counterintuitively. That guy's like, oh yeah, big money, here we go. And then look at him. I mean, a day ago, what were we at? Like 16? So
yeah,
they're probably getting crushed right now.
let me turn off funding here. Let's want to run through Forex real quick.
Yep.
Do that. So Aussie is looking weak against the New Zealand dollar, but it's looking strong against every other currency right here. So on the Aussie Japanese yen, we've got a pretty decent break of trend right here. I think I'd like to see us come back down and still retest this area right here. But I do see continuation for the Aussie yen pair. Aussie USD pair continues to be very strong in this spot. Also got trend break here. Just so you remember, guys, I made this one way back here. This actually hit one of the take profits. Let me delete that. Yeah, the 3-day here is very strong. We appear to be holding above resistance. But looking at the 3-day, we're still below this this baseline. So wouldn't necessarily want to rush into it because I would still like to see a retest of this spot. But I expect the Australian dollar to continue to appreciate against the US dollar. Let's take a look at some other pairings here. Loonie Swissy, trading sideways, has been for a long time now. Not interested in it. CAD yen is interesting right here. It seems like this area is strong resistance. I don't really see a good trade here in either direction.
Yeah,
Now
that looks like it's weaker.
Yeah, this looks like a good trade for a short. So we still don't have a firm breakout, it seems, in the spot. But I would classify this as weakness and not strength. Especially in this spot right here, which looks more like a breakdown from resistance. Retest this area down here. I would consider taking this short. I would say that there's a time transformation signal here at the end of today, most likely. But as long as we're inside of this triangle, it's kind of 50-50. So I wouldn't necessarily take this trade. Euro Aussie dollar retesting lows here. I think I would prefer to grab this to a retest of the upside right here. There's some volume up here. The baseline is still all the way up here. Maybe get a baseline bounce even before continuation downwards. If you look at it on the monthly, I still expect the euro to weaken versus the Aussie dollar because remember, I think the Aussie dollar is going to be strong.
Yep.
So this is the monthly, or no, this is the weekly. Yeah, I'm expecting a breakdown. I don't know where, but further breakdown. And then whoops. And then we got a nice monthly engulfing candle that we'll have at the end of this month. But of course, we're talking like maybe next year we'll get down to this price. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I like to see a retest of this area, and then further breakdown. I think that's how I'd like to see this play out. Euro CAD. Ooh, this is actually kind of good looking for a short here. Monthly, not enough weakness necessarily on the monthly. Very nice here. You can see we got a break of trend at the same time we ended up below the weekly baseline. Very beautiful right here. As long as we're below this, I really expect us to break down further down into this consolidation area right here. I know price wants to return to this spot. So if someone held a gun to your head, then yes, definitely take this short down to here. On the daily, we're above the baseline. We don't have a short signal. I would not take this short on the daily. But I do like how we just appear to be coming up to retest the point of control, most likely before further breakdown into this area. Euro Swissy trading sideways at resistance. I wouldn't really take this. Euro versus the New Zealand dollar. Very weak, likely continuation in this spot. I think this is a monthly trend I have drawn out here. Let me take a look at this. Yeah. I think I took a little bit of a liberty with this, with the break. I was like, close enough. But this does look like a strong breakdown in the Euro New Zealand dollar. And again, we should expect the New Zealand dollar to be strong, just like the Aussie dollar, because they're in the summer right now. They've got warm temperatures. They don't have COVID lockdowns right now. Their economies are humming along, at least looking towards the future, much better than ours are. Because remember, the markets are future oriented. People don't trade on what's going on right now. They trade on what they think the price is going to be. I don't buy something because of what the price is today. I buy something because I think the price is going to go up tomorrow or the next day, etc. Or those are the same reasons you sell things. So, all right, Euro, British pound, trading sideways in this area. I expect this to come back down here as Brexit stuff continues to futz with Britain's economy. But for now, trading sideways. I see no signals here. Next, Euro Yen. Strong in this spot. We have a sell signal here on TT. And for some reason in the past, I've drawn an arrow suggesting a breakdown. Baseline bounce trade, of course. So, yeah. So grab it short in this spot and take it down for a retest of this area point of control. I do like that for a very nice swing trade. This will probably take place over the span of a couple of weeks. Yeah, right here, this all looks like trapped under resistance. If we got back above this area, then I want to take it long up to to retest the highs. So trading sideways at resistance. I wouldn't necessarily take it either way, but overall, the euro is looking more bullish against the US dollar. Let's draw from wicks here.
It's definitely found its retail price within there, huh?
Yeah. This is where to draw this from. You can tell there's a break of trend here, but it's not clear exactly in what sense the trend is broken. This is really, if you think about it, the definition of trading sideways. I mean, it's been volatile, but I mean, we're at the same price we were in August and in July. So we had the same price in July for a few days. We've got this price now in November. The euro's trading sideways against the dollar. So until we get a firm trend break, I wouldn't really want to take it in one direction or the other, I think. Daily, we don't really have a strong signal, but we're above the baseline. If we got this...
I like that, to be honest with you. I think that...
Well, if we got this cross up above
bullish.
the euro, then it would be bullish, but we don't have it yet.
Yeah, but I really do feel like that's building towards the cross. Like, that looks like it's strong.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely going to be big for the euro and probably not very good for the US dollar.
This looks like a fantastic short right here. I mean, I think I might go take this short after the show. So I definitely want to short the British pound against the New Zealand dollar. We already said the New Zealand dollar was strong. We're below the weekly baseline, below the daily baseline, or below the 12-hour baseline, below the 4-hour baseline. And we are stomping on support right now. It's like we're standing on a trap door. It's like nothing can go wrong. I'm just going to jump right here. So, yeah, I really love this short spot right here. See, what else we have here? British pound against Canadian dollar, trading sideways. I don't really see much of interest here on the weekly. On the daily, similarly, I think, yeah, this is trading sideways. Nothing interesting. British pound Swissy, sideways for months. nothing interesting here. British pound yen, pretty much sideways for months here. I don't see anything super interesting. British pound US dollar. I have this arrow here because we're at resistance. I would rather take the trade in this direction, but we've got this really interesting it's kind of a descending broadening wedge, but interestingly, it has a horizontal resistance level, which you do not normally see on those. So this is almost a little bit like the megaphone pattern, upside down of the of the larger markets. So I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I think ultimately I would rather take this short back down into this area. Currently, we do not have a signal to go in. We did have a nice signal in this spot, but we were kind of below the baseline when we received it. Maybe we would have taken this. Maybe. British pound versus the Aussie dollar. Weak here, but not as weak as the British pound versus the New Zealand dollar. This is the one to take right here. Don't you think?
I agree on that one, especially like it hasn't broke below that. Like I really think that's just gonna, like you said, a trap door is just gonna fall out.
Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily want to short right into this support right here, but I mean it is very strong. Yes, we'll see over the next day or two. Like this is a weekly chart. So this weekly candle only opened today. We don't need to rush into it. See. New Zealand dollar versus the US. Sorry. This is a fantastic breakout trade. You can see I'm actually in a long here. This is hooked up to my Awanda account. So I took this on the breakout all the way back here on November 9th. So we traded up, traded back down, kind of retest resistance as support, and now we're trading back up. I really like this breakout trade for New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. As I had said, I think New Zealand dollar is going to be very strong. This trade just, I think this was, once we had the break of this resistance, it was kind of a no-brainer. So
Looks like Phillips saying that NZD CAD is the trade.
NZD CAD, he's not wrong. Last
It
week
looks
we
like that.
closed. Yeah, last week we closed above weekly resistance. I would definitely hop into this for long this week. We could trade back down to. It seems like we retested this area yesterday though, or on Friday. That's what we just did. So, yeah, and today we broke above the daily high. So yeah, this is both the weekly and the daily are firing on all signals on the New Zealand CAD, on the Kiwi Loonie pair. So yeah, I would definitely take this long, at least up to 91.5 or 0.915, I suppose it is.
Sound like a radio station.
Yeah, New Zealand dollar versus the Swissy. Guys, New Zealand dollar is strong against everything. I'm telling you. New Zealand dollar yen. USD CAD. It's mostly traded sideways, and it looks weak, likely to continue to break down here. Which does not spell spell well. Does not bode well. Does not spell good tidings here for the US dollar. US dollar Swiss franc here. Oh, you can see my other order here. I nailed this long on the US dollar here. And right now we're trading back towards the daily baseline. I'm not yet ready to exit this. Although I must say that the US dollar currency indice is not looking super strong in this spot right now. We're below the daily baseline, and we really seem to have run into a lot of resistance in this spot. However, if the Swissy ends up being weak enough, then it could still end up being a winning trade. See here. Back to Forex. Now this is starting to look rough. The USD versus the Japanese yen. So this really feels like we finally have a wick up into what was previously support, now resistance on the weekly. This is essentially the inverse of the Japanese yen index right now. So this is
exactly like it.
Yeah, exactly. So considering that the Japanese yen looks strong on its indice, it looks weak. It looks strong against the U.S. dollar, or the dollar looks weak against it. I think we may be in for a Japanese breakout trade soon. Japanese yen breakout trade. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. And that's pretty much it for Forex. And then continues to break down against the Chinese yuan. So we've got a little bit of a descending, broadening wedge here on the Chinese yuan pairing, or USD yuan pairing.
Yeah, that has just been downhill, bud.
Yeah. I was thinking we might get a bounce in this spot, but over these, this is like a full week that we tried to get back over this support resistance, and then we didn't. So I think we might see further breakdown here, which is bad for the US dollar. And that being said, if we continue to see the US dollar fall, we should continue to see a tailwind for Bitcoin, which is good. Tailwind for traditionals, which is good. And so if we see the US dollar start rising again, that could be a big sign for us to consider abandon all ships.
Just abandon
all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly review a few of the comments in the live chat. We've been hammering the Forex for a little while. And let's see what we got here. I see Ibanez here making a comment. He says, I know this is about markets and TA, but you can stick your vaccine up your you-know-what. So I guess, as Mikhail here points out, the suppositorial vaccines, very interesting. I guess something about our vaccine talk got people triggered. Spock Talk says, Dixie bullish AF. S. Hyatt says, guys, did you check out XRP? Sorry if you did, I stepped away. Nope, we haven't done XRP yet. I think we'll definitely be doing that in the next section where we do the chart request and audience engagement. Martha Martinez says, I don't know what's what, but I feel bearish as on BTC right now. So I shorted this upward sloping resistance with entry at 16,740. Did anyone hear about whales? Maybe he meant to say on whales. $100 million short yesterday. Okay, did anyone hear about the whales $100 million short yesterday? Yeah, I guess we've been hearing a lot of rumblings about this $100 million Bybit short. But I'm not sure if I would take that as a signal to follow that whale. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out. Midwest. Sorry.
Maybe that's a good lesson for you to go ahead and follow that along and see how well it works out.
Yeah. Follow the big whales. Maybe they know something you don't, but maybe they're just gonna get wrecked. Somebody just came into a trust fund.
Joe 007.
Yeah, exactly. It might be the Joe 007 made a move from Bitfinex to Bybit. Let's see here. Philip Carr just came through with another $5 super chat. Thank you, or £5 super chat. Much thanks to Mr. Philip Carr from Manchester there. And cotton USD chart, please. 4 hours, says Philip. Could we take a look at the cotton market, please?
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. Like, if you opened up $100 million short, if you just had maybe some kind of evidence that the market was going to range in this area, whatever, hold that open for 2 weeks. Like, think about just the funding that you would make back on the position.
Yeah, that's crazy money.
$100 million, man.
Alright, looks like we're going to be diving into Conan next.
I mean, I guess I don't even know Cotton's ticker. We never look at this.
Cotton price, latest futures. Is it NMX? Let's see here.
Well, I think it's very bullish. That's actually super bullish. We've got a Well, then again, I don't know if I classify this as super bullish, but I do like this break of resistance. And is this a inverse head and shoulders? Let's take a look at lower time frame. I don't know if I would call it an inverse head and shoulders, really, but I do like this break of resistance here. We appear to be holding it, but we're below the daily baseline. This is still an area of resistance right here. You know, we were really overextended on weekly time transformation. We're still below the daily baseline. I would this is not something that I would rush into. It doesn't look bad, but I would need it to rise a bit more before it's really ready for us to enter. If that makes sense, Phil.
All right,
Yeah,
Philip, hope that covers your question on cotton. Let us know. Let's see here. Cotton Hill. Just gonna scroll up a little bit, guys. I see the user by the name of Only the Best showed up a little late to the show. Well, welcome, Mr. Only the Best. According to Only the Best, a pullback is imminent. He tried calling 16.4 as his top, but my megabytes were bugged out. I'm not sure about the megabytes, bro, but yeah, you want to call an imminent pullback? Well, we'll be back on the stream tomorrow probably, and we're gonna check in on your imminent pullback call.
See how you're doing?
Define imminent.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very strong top right here. People poured volume into this spot. I don't know. We could pull back here, at least down to here, if not all the way back down to here.
As Martha Martinez points out, 5 bearish divergences in a row on BTC Daily. Not sure which indicator that refers to, but
I'm sure oscillator showing it. I believe it. But, you know, that's the problem is, I mean, sure, there's 5 in a row, but how do you know there won't be 6 in a row? I mean, certainly at 4, you thought, well, 4 is so many. That's, you know, and
Yeah,
Bitcoin's down but not making another high. So
it's just an oscillator, man. Price can continue just to keep rising here. I mean, we've seen it
yeah, I
happen
mean,
before.
even the time transformation here is getting totally bugged out here. I mean, you know, it doesn't get pegged to the top like some oscillators do, but it's still you're having a hard time riding this.
Yep, as Only the Best says, he took some profit on the short this morning, and he wants to ride some more downside. Philip Carr says a falling USD may get chased by value investment in Canadian and Mexican assets. Only the Best says he just hit TP2. I'm guessing on that short of his. Can we get Philip Carr as a request? Can we get the crypto bubbles equivalent of for Forex? Is there a crypto bubbles of Forex? Sure, we can.
Not that I know of, but
we
I'm sure
can-
that it'd be easy.
Yeah, we might have to look into that. Almost done, guys. I'm going to scroll a little more. Only the Best asks for XAU, which I think is silver. Is he asking for silver? I think that's silver. Maybe we'll pull up some of the precious metals shortly. Let's see here. I had to pull up the fib to get an entry at the low. Okay. Well, only the best. I see you describing your trading a lot here. Very nice. I'm gonna keep scrolling. Crypto Caveman, what's up, guys? I'm joining a little late. Shout outs to Crypto Caveman. I don't mind if you come in late. Just hit that like button. Any bottom feeder signals on Forex? I'm not sure if bottom feeder is really tuned for Forex, but
It's
Alex,
not tuned for Forex.
it's
No.
not tuned for Forex, boys. No,
I
no
mean, if
bottom
you
feeder
want to
signal.
back test it, you can go ahead, but I wouldn't trust bottom feeder signals on Forex.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't
not what
tested
it's
any
good for.
Forex on it.
All right. Well, we're gonna check in on cotton again in a bit, Philip, because I see you hammering the cotton tip. So we're gonna get back into cotton maybe in a follow-up show. But we'll keep an eye on cotton commodities. Let me just finish reading the last few comments, and we'll get into the final section. Just a reminder to everybody in the audience: if you haven't got in your chart request yet, now's the time to do it. I think we're gonna be heading into the chart request section. So if you got them, put them up. I see T-Dub saying, did you guys already do Ethereum? Yeah, I think we touched Ethereum very early in the show, probably one of the first 15 minutes, so do check that out. Super Bowlish trademark. T-Dub, my Ethereum long is sucking Richard right now. Sucking Richard? Are you talking about Richard Hart?
Dick.
Oh, Richard. Oh, that Richard. Gotcha. I forgot about that one.
Womp womp, Jack.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I'm just here to read the live chat. I'm not here to decipher these. All right. Let's see here.
That decipher. Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
the
'cause that-
encryption is so
yeah, 'cause
difficult.
that dick joke was really scripted in there.
Yeah. Let's see here. No, it would not crash the
You know,
price if it was a
I
limit sell
had a
order.
coworker once who was Richard Head the Third. The third.
Wow.
Dickhead the third.
Third Richard Head. Yes.
Third dickhead in a succession of dickheads. Go figure. Okay, so
Yeah.
this one, I see a lot of people talking about this $100 million short on Bybit. Somebody asked, wouldn't that crash the price of Bitcoin on that market? And as Martha
No.
Martinez says, no, it would not crash the price if it was a limit sell order. I see CDAC says, have you guys looked at Compound yet today? Not yet. We're probably going to put Compound on that list. Maybe Alex will pull
Already
it up.
on there.
Already on there. Yep. Jason's way ahead of me. I'm scrolling still, guys. So Jason is probably sniping all your requests and putting them on the list, which Alex will be getting to very shortly. That's it. I'm at the bottom of the comments here. As Boris says, if the whale laddered the sell, sure, but I don't think you can put in a limit sell for 100 million on Bybit. That's equivalent to almost 6,000 Bitcoin. In a bull run, Bitcoin don't give no Fs. Only the best says no. I called the push to 16.4. I don't know where the pullback would be. Alright, well, you called the push up. Well, let me see if you can call the push down. David Rice added a few more requests in here. I'm sure Jason probably already got them lined up.
Yep.
And I see sushi being requested. Gotta love Shawshank. Yes, gotta love the Shawshank. I love you guys.
B-Flow just said the name is Dumas, not dumbass.
Oh, it's Dumas. Gotcha.
But it's
And-
from Shawshank.
Gotcha. Shawshank references. I haven't seen that since high school. Where's subtext? She's cute. Tell her to No. Only the best. We can't do that around here, guys. Come on. Subtext. I'm sure that trader is around. If not, hit him up in the Discord. But don't go.
Guys, let me just say right now, do not treat our female members that way. If I catch you harassing our female members, I will bring the ban hammer down on you so hard your children's children are going to feel it. I swear to God.
Boom.
We
Drop.
have we have 4 female members. Do not scare them off. These are good people.
Yeah, guys, it's a miracle that
We're already a tough crowd.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
Give 'em-
So, play nice, guys. I'm sure. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Next,
Yeah.
Keep it to trading.
shoutouts to Subtext. If you're watching, come say hi in the live chat. Moving along. Okay, that's it for the live chat. We're gonna get to the requests. Only the best is gonna get muted because he's still going on. And yeah, I see a lot of comments coming in. This is funny stuff, guys. I'm Jamaican, bro. Yeah, we Jamaican you crazy, aren't we? All right, Alex. Let's start pounding out the last few requests in this list here, and maybe we'll jump into news and then we'll wrap it up, guys.
Looks like the first few are gonna be Kava and Crow from T-Dub.
All right, let's take a look at Crow. I haven't looked at that in a few days. I mean, it's still probably a dumpster fire, but how much? Let's see.
Oh.
More new
Why do
lows.
you even want to look at that, guy? Like, are you in
Yeah,
the best short of your life or something? Like,
yeah. Are you some sort of masochist? Well, we did cross the baseline for all the good it's done. The baseline's
that's
still dropping
yeah,
too.
that's amazing when you can get above the baseline, but it's still dropping and you haven't hit a higher price.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so everybody is like 20% poorer since the last time someone asked me about this. Guys, I laugh, but it's not funny to me. This is like these people stole investors' money. They did it right out in the open, and then everybody thanked them for it afterwards. It's really disgusting. Um, I if price goes up again, I'm sure it'll recover quite well. Like a lot of people still, really really worship crypto.com's altar, but
It's a good idea, but not that good.
yeah, guys, there's other crypto cards coming out. Get a Binance card,
Yeah.
get like a Coinbase card. You know,
I think we're just in the infancy of seeing these cards come out.
yeah. And these people have already proven that they cannot keep their promises. Like, once bitten, twice shy, guys. Think about it. All right, so there's Crow. What was the other one? I'm sorry. Kava, of course. I remember looking at Kava yesterday. Oh, well, I should have paid more attention yesterday.
There you got a little action there.
Yeah, so I would consider this. It's bullishly back above resistance right here. Put on. Let's see if we've got a log trend here or a linear trend. Okay, I would consider this a break of the downtrend. Boom. I think this is good for Kava. We've got a nice bullish divergence that we're going to have here at the end of the day. Well, actually, this isn't quite a divergence.
I was gonna say that's just regular No, that's just
No,
regular.
this is like a regular oscillator movement.
Yeah.
But the oscillator movement is doing what we would expect it to. Yep, this feels good to me right here. I would probably want to take it back up to like the middle of this area right here. Let me try and draw this out. I can never find this. Ah, I think I want to take it back up to this area. Price likes this, wants to retest that area. And then I would love to see continuation and retest this area finally. So I think something like this will obtain.
Yeah, for the 13 EMA system that I have, today is going to be a long signal, but currently you'd be a little overextended to take full risk. But the daily candle hasn't closed yet, so you could come down. Any entry around like 1.54, I would really
Yeah.
like daily long.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I
that
think
is looking good.
Yep, I think this would be a good spot to regrab it. I agree. All right, next.
Let's see
I
here.
saw XRP earlier.
Yeah, XRP and then compound.
All right. Well, ZERP, as Justin likes to call it, we shall look at. Very nice.
For once, it's actually looking okay.
Well, as you can see, we broke above resistance here. We held here for over the weekend. And now we are finally trading back up here. It's good. If you're already long, then congratulations. If you're not already long, I probably wouldn't buy this spot. Because we're like in the middle of this trading range right now, and it's going to go up, it's going to go down in here. Look at the weekly. Weekly does look pretty nice here. You could probably take this a little higher, but I don't think the risk reward is there for that. Yeah, for right now, if you're not already long XRP, I would wait for a breakout of this resistance area right here, or a retest of this.
Yeah.
Retest and then a and then a movement off of that area.
Because I mean,
Although then again, this is kind of the retest of the area and a movement off that area. So
you still have time though. It's either going to break that or it's going to retest that lower boundary. So
mhm. Yeah, we will definitely trade up to this resistance area right here. But after that, I wouldn't long into this area until we get a breakup, and then something because there could be a lot of sideways trading here, and that's opportunity cost. You could be in other trades, so I would just hold off for now. What else we got?
did you already look at compound? No.
I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a brief stopover into and taking a look at Bitcoin dominance stuff. So, guys, currently Bitcoin dominance is about to break resistance. Resistance super strong here, 66%. We've got this we've got the weekly downtrend, which we're breaking through. Yeah, I think right now, until we get a reversal on Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin is still the best choice. But let's take a look at Uniswap here. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn off baseline for this. All right, so we broke this downtrend stride. Broken this one too. Which is, I mean, if you look at it like there, wouldn't you want a short from here? Yeah. And looking here, I gotta say, this is pretty strong for long, at least back up into this area right here. So right here, we're still in this support / resistance area right here. I don't necessarily want to long into this spot. Seem to be getting this is only a few days old. I don't really want to put much stock into this candle yet. Yeah, I think a pullback would not be bad in this spot, at least just to retest these lows right here. And then if we do get a breakup through there. We're holding above this level on mid caps too. All coins we've actually held above the weekly trend line, shown here. It's hard to complain about major alts in this spot.
Like BTC is about to complete that ascending triangle I had mapped out for him.
Mm-hmm.
Up at 16.9. We're about 16.84 right now. We're breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, until we get that turn in Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin is still looking like the best choice of what you want to ride. But we're topping in this spot. Like this is an entire area of resistance up here, and we will pull back to 13K. I don't know when. I don't know how much sideways trading might happen until then. We could go up more. We could even test 18, but we will retest this area. Mark my words. So
at some point. Yep, I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's inevitable.
And so that is why there is not a swing long that you can take in this spot. The risk reward just isn't there. Let's go ahead and look at comp now. Let's look at I've got DeFi coins here lined up. Okay, so that's probably most accurate. All right. I feel like we're still going to trade sideways down in this area for a little bit. It looks like they're forming a nice little base in this spot. They is I don't mean like the big them. I mean whoever's accumulating in this spot. The traders and stuff. So we've just broken this trend resistance. We still appear to be below some below support / resistance in the spot. So I would try and get back in just a little lower on comp in this spot. You don't need to rush in here. I do like the weekly signal on time transformation. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down candles here. I bet if you were doing the time to mark thing, you would have started counting it like some other way. You'd be like, oh, red 9 or something. I don't know. I don't do the time to mark stuff. But there's something to be said for reversal after this many weeks of downside. So keep your eyes peeled. Wi-Fi also in resistance in this spot. So Uniswap in resistance, Wi-Fi resistance. I don't know. Swipe could do something here. Meta appears to finally be facing some resistance here. Yeah, a lot of these are still just trading sideways. What's next on our list?
Looks like KNC from David Rice.
All right. This is not enough data. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing. Currently, I would classify the Bitcoin pairing as stuck below resistance. Yeah, this does not look super healthy on the daily. But then again, the weekly, it's like, oh, you get this week down and the time transformation reversal signal. You know what? I say screw the daily. I think this looks good for a weekly reversal. Probably back up into this area right here. This is a strong, this is a strong consolidation area. We're at the bottom in this spot. I would want to take this back up to here. Probably up to, what is this, 10,000 sats? Yeah. I like this. A lot of down weeks here. Mm. Yeah, okay, we got to break a trend. I like that. Okay. I say this is a decent spot to pick up KNC. Probably take it at least up here, maybe up to here. This is the 10,000 spot we were talking about. I really don't see taking it higher back up in this area right here. It still looks like there's distribution that took place here. Yeah, okay. All right, and then ultimately maybe land back down in this area, trade sideways, get ready for next alt season. What else we got?
Let's go get ourselves some gas station sushi.
Gas station sushi. All right, let's open ChartX. Sushi.
Is this one coming back?
Looks like it is. We finally broke above resistance this past weekend. Trading up there since then. Nice volume. I would wait for a pullback back down in this area. and buy the retest of the spot. I would try and this is a little off, but I would try and buy back down near this spot's $1 right here. Near $1.80. But yeah, I think this is pretty good for continuation on sushi. We're seeing this on some of the on some of these. Like they're pretty bottomed out in this spot. Or at least the market is convinced that they were pretty oversold. Some of these are 100% off their bottoms. Curve here, this is up 100%. Sushi, if we look at that, this one's up over 100%.
How's hot dog looking?
Oh, that one is still hot dog is all burnt. Yeah.
Come on. Gotta be
Yep.
recovery on hot dog.
Nope. No volume. Nope.
So it really happened.
Yeah. A few others like the ChartX coin is actually doing really well the past few days. This one's finally back up over a cent, which is nice. Still have a nice break of trend here. Let's see. There's XOR. This is a big one. This is held really well. I guess it really depends on where you want to draw it from, but pull this. Huh. I don't know how you would necessarily want to draw this, but I would definitely consider this a break back above.
Definitely a break of trend.
Yeah. I would try and buy a retest of this area right here, but I mean, it looks like it's good for continuation. What else was really big for a while? Why don't I just open up Uniswap? Let's open the swamp. What's in the swamp? What are these things? Never heard of them. All right. Core. It's like maybe breakdown to me. Not super interested in core at this point. Well, we want stuff that was from the beginning of Uniswap season, not stuff that's like newer. This came out last month. This is not what we want. Help me out here.
Oh, what? Some of the DeFi darlings from over the last few weeks?
Yeah.
And
Band is okay, but Band got pretty hurt by the sushi blow up. Band was damaged in the sushi blow up too because they had like cut some deals and stuff like that. TRB is another one of the oracles. I was looking at this earlier today. I thought this is pretty interesting looking.
Did it like gap up? Like what am I seeing there?
Yeah, it's a gap up.
Oh, okay.
You got it. There you go.
Alright.
Better.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Nice. It's nice taking this break of trend. It was a nice trade here. Still testing this area. At this point, I wouldn't long here. I would long the break of this if we got that. What else we got on our list?
We are now. That was the last one that I've seen. You looked at TRB just there.
All right. Yeah, TRB kind of brings us to the close. I see Smiles J in here saying, hey, CF is in his $8 million long right now. He's streaming it now, nearly 300K unrealized. Oh, so he's talking about Crypto Face. That's the trader known as...
Put on a position, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't really care, but you know, apparently when you're in an $8 million long, it apparently attracts the viewers. So I mean, I believe it. 8 million long. That sounds pretty juicy. He's up nearly 300 right now. Yeah, I wish I could pack that kind of punch, guys.
Yeah,
but
if it's not my money, I can't get too excited about it. I mean, it sounds cool, but I like Wings looking pretty good in this spot. We got a nice little. This is almost an inverse head and shoulder setup. This looks like a nice rounded bottom here. Yeah, this looks nice off this bottom. If we can get a retest, all the better. Anything else going on the low sets? Side breaking down. Shares breaking down. Order breaking down. App breaking down. And Loom. Oh, kind of recovered breaking down. LRC. We could get continuation on this out of this spot. It kind of looks like we sold into this and we haven't been able to break below this. We'll see. This is not great looking. Blaze breaking back down from here. Raven, new all-time low today. Big surprise.
Right.
Yep. Mana had a great week last week, but it sold back into nothing. No, these are all look really weak looking. These are all retesting the slows. Looks like the support is resistance now. Looks like it's going to break down further. Recovered a little bit here, but I wouldn't really call this bullish per se. Ugly wick. Man, none of these look appealing at this moment. New lows. Not a new low. But I would expect to retest this area before we get a continuation. So it does look like we have a trend break. Nope, not yet. Nothing I would consider a full trend break.
I got a question here from. I got a comment actually. It's from Only the Best, and he says, "Does anyone in here trade Hex? I'm hearing some potentially profitable things about it right now." Did Hex end up getting listed on any major exchanges?
No.
Yeah. That's probably why we don't really trade Hex too much around here. As far as profitable things you're hearing right now, I'm not sure if those are specifically related to chart setups, any TA.
Yeah, it's just on hit BTC.
Yeah.
Uniform.
There you go. As for the Hex things in the pipeline, Hex did launch about a year ago, and that means the very earliest of birds who claimed their Hex or bought their Hex and locked it up for the minimum, I think, 1 year contract, means those first batch of people are going to have their staking rewards paid out and unlocked, I think, this month. And there's a big pool, I think, of Hex that basically, if all the people who didn't free claim and on all that, all the remaining rewards are going to get distributed out to the existing pool of holders or stakers. So if you're referring to like any big events in the Hex timeline ahead, that's what I'm aware of. But I just don't know if that's going to be actually bullish, guys. I mean, like if everybody's getting their rewards unlocked and paid out, maybe this is a time people are going to take profit and dump, right? So be wary, boys. Of course, that's going to be a small fraction of people who probably entered that 1 year contract on day one. So it's still going to be staggered. These people taking their rewards and selling potentially might be staggered, so it's not going to dump all in the market at once. But maybe that's what you heard. Maybe it's not. But do let us know. Hopefully that covered your question, Mr. Only the Best on Hex. David Rice says, "Thanks for another awesome show, CC team." My pleasure, guys. It really is the work of guys like Alex and Jason who come on the show and take you guys to the charts and answer all those questions. I couldn't do it myself. Damien Hughes is asking for HOT, H-O-T. Can we throw HOT on? This will be one of our last coins for today.
Let's look at that dumpster fire worth 2 sats.
Yep. It is either down 25% today or 50% today, depending on which sat it is.
That or it's either that or a failed project, because this thing could go to 0.
Yeah, at this point,
I'm all in.
Yeah, even if you bought like up here, you're down 50%. It's rough. This is just too volatile. Even I can't in good conscience. Don't pick it up. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Save yourself.
Haven't you guys made some decent trades over the last year on this shitcoin hot?
Oh, I've actually made quite a bit off hot myself, but
me.
not lately. I've been out of it, but I mean,
Hot
I
not
still
Interesting.
hot
This
not
is
looking so
kind
hot.
no, not looking very hot at all.
What's going on with Verge?
It's on the verge of bankruptcy.
I would classify this as a relatively bullish weekly signal, but we don't have it yet. I would definitely take this, but I don't know. We did close last week as a doji for Verge, but I mean that all that could be. It's just I don't want to buy the all-time low, which is like kind of what we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't want to get ravened.
Or
Yeah.
rippled.
Yeah, more rippled. Can't go any lower.
Can't go any lower until it does. All right.
It was like an all-time low here. It's rough, guys out there.
Very rough.
Yeah, I mean, I know DeFi put in a really good weekend, and I certainly wish that I had like grabbed it here and then taken it all the way up here. But these all kind of look like they're trading at resistance right now. They had 100% over a week, so a lot of these are looking for pullbacks, and currently Bitcoin dominance is still rising. I would be very cautious about taking these alts, guys. Just show some consideration for your own account. Show some consideration.
Is there any news that you want to get into, Jack?
Yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much sums up our...
I'm spent.
Yeah, guys, it's been a pretty busy Monday, and we are over an hour and a half into the show. Very cool, and I see that we did kind of cover almost everything. All right, that's going to bring us toward the close, where we're going to dive into some of the juicy stories, some of the top news that we're keeping our eyes on. Let me switch my OBS scene here. Here we go. Let me shrink this down for the audience so everybody can see my screen clearly. Let me reset this. There we go. Alright, let me kill this here. Alright, here we go. Citibank analyst seemingly predicts a $318,000 Bitcoin for 2021. So, however improbable this seems, it would represent the weakest major rally so far at 101 times increase from low to high. I guess what that, of course, is referring to is I guess the magnitude of the subsequent post halving rallies is decreasing now, so we're only gonna, according to him, maybe only 100x gain from this low to high in this recent cycle. And of course, this is a technical analysis prepared by CitiFX, which is of course the institutional division of Citibank, and it's pointing its clients to a potential high of 318,000 in December 2021.
I mean, it's cool, but I think we all know these numbers are totally pulled out of people's asses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're roughly plotting something on the chart, but indeed, it's this is still very much hopium, or the Kool-Aid. I'm not sure what the term would this be, with the Bitcoin Kool-Aid that gets passed around every year at the blockchain parties.
I mean, yes, sign me up for $300,000 Bitcoin, no question. But I just don't see where you're getting that number from. That just doesn't require so many speculative guesses about what's gonna happen in the future. That is just you can't even call it an educated guess.
I think it's plotting the previous patterns, right? It's kind of like taking like a fractal of previous price action and previous rallies and kind of trying to pay it forward, right? And so according to this analysis, This current price action places us squarely in the middle of a bull run, which started in early 2019. And according to this analyst, it's potentially set to run for 4 years until late 2022. So they're saying that this cycle is going to play out, and you better be aiming a little higher than, 40K. This is the $300,000 Bitcoin prediction for December 2021, according to Fitzpatrick from Citigroup. So,
So it should be a good year for me, huh?
yeah, boys, I hope you got your Bitcoin positions in, and if you aren't already FOMOing into a long right now, well, this might be the booster you needed. While conceding that this figure might seem highly improbable, he points out that this would only be a low to high rally of 102 times, which would make it the weakest rally so far in percentage terms, at a point where arguments in favor of Bitcoin could well be at their most persuasive ever. Yeah, we can't expect the same kind of gains we did in the very early of days, right? So obviously when Bitcoin was trading, for fractions of a penny, you're gonna have the widest returns in the early days. So now we're kind of hitting, as he describes it, probably a low to high of only a 100x, right? So I guess the low, he guessing at 100x, that would probably mean he put the low of this cycle around 3K. Makes sense. That's kind of where we bottomed out twice, I guess, in the last couple of years. And so he's talking about 100x from the 3K bottom. So for anybody who bought the 3K bottoms, you're looking at a potential 100x reward in your future, according to this one analyst. So shout outs to anybody in the chat who picked up their BTC at 3K or lower. Of course, these arguments include a change in the U.S. Federal Reserve policy, which occurred when the COVID pandemic hit, characterized by vast and sustained increase in new money production, which of course, with less intention to constrain the once the economy and employment picks up again. Yeah, you can imagine that once things do pick up from here, I don't know if the government's even going to back off some of these stimulus measures. If they do introduce something like UBI, you can imagine that the government is not going to be so quick to dial that back, right? Once UBI gets implemented into greater society and the economy, good luck ever dialing that one back. So I guess we're heading toward a brave new world of rampant money printing and stimulus at all costs. All right, so that kind of covers the Citibank analyst story. I'm going to dive into the next one. All right. This one, I think maybe some people heard about this weekend. Tell me if you guys did. But the incoming U.S. Senator promotes Bitcoin on national television. I don't know if you guys saw this weekend, but in a recent interview with Good Morning America on ABC, the Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis, who's a fan of Bitcoin, promoted Bitcoin on national TV.
Any news is good news.
On national TV,
Joe Rogan's doing it too.
Bitcoin was recently promoted on national television by the incoming Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis. She is the first woman to have been elected to this position, I guess, as Senator of Wyoming. Lummis is also a fan of Bitcoin. When commentating on the cryptocurrency in a recent interview with Good Morning America on ABC News, she said she thinks cryptocurrency is a viable store of value. She went on to highlight how cryptocurrency is extremely resistant to inflation, relative to the US dollar at least, and she did not comment on any price targets or anything beyond that, but she noted that she does own cryptocurrency. So that's pretty cool. You got another bureaucrat who at least is on the Bitcoin front. So maybe we do have so you got some proponents coming our way. Maybe even the policymakers might be on our side one day and tweak things favorably. And of course, the incoming senator did not discuss her thoughts on Bitcoin relative to gold, but there are a growing number of individuals who think that precious metal is inferior to gold. Or do they mean that think that the precious metal is inferior to gold? No, I think they mean the Bitcoin is superior to gold. I think we need a little proofreading here. Of course, Raoul Pal, CEO of Real Vision, hedge fund manager, worked for Goldman Sachs, thinks all assets are inferior to Bitcoin, so that's like the mega maximalist on that side. Pal thinks Bitcoin could hit 1 million in the years ahead as institutional money from all over the world enters the space. $1 million Bitcoin, it's going to take a couple more cycles, I think, guys. I would be perfectly happy if we can hit that 300K as mentioned in the previous story within a year or two, guys. I don't know what you're going to do with your 300K Bitcoin, but I've got a few islands on my mind in the Caribbean I might settle in. All right, moving along to the next story, unless you boys have something you'd like to add to any of these wild hopes for Bitcoin's price. Let me just dive into another news item here, and we'll be heading toward the close. All right, so this one is something Alex linked us to this morning in the News Pulse channel, and this is capitals flowing into Bitcoin almost at a record pace. On-chain data seems to show. So Bitcoin has exploded higher over the past few weeks. Yep, we've all been watching that, and the coin's up 50% in the past 5 weeks alone. Yep, we broke out of 10K. Just a couple months ago, 5 weeks. Wow, just September, we were still hovering around. And capital, at least according to Willy Woo, is flooding into Bitcoin market almost at a record pace.
See how quick things change.
Wu specifically pointed to the realized price metric, which tracks estimated cost basis for the average Bitcoin investor. Yeah, I bet you a lot of Bitcoin investors are currently in the green. There's probably very few people who are underwater. Even those suckers who bought the top a couple of years ago are probably feeling pretty good about themselves, assuming they didn't dump at the very bottom. Bitcoin has exploded higher over the past few weeks. It's 50% against US dollar, outperforming all their assets. Bitcoin trades, yeah. Let me just see here. Where's the meat of this one? Capital's flooding into the Bitcoin market almost at a record pace. The on-chain analyst noted this, that his data says that an influx of capital entering the Bitcoin market, which is driving up prices. He's pointing to the realized price metric, which tracks estimated cost, blah, 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 saying realized price estimates, the average price market paid for Bitcoin. Now at its steepest slope for this cycle, meaning capital influx into Bitcoin is at its highest rate since the last bull market, higher than last year's 4 to 14K move. The current move is more organic. For the sake of this comment, I'll define organic. Organic price action happens when Bitcoin price tracks closely with investor capital entering and leaving. When it's inorganic, BTC price is dominated by short-term derivative traders. All right, so I think this is an interesting little insight here from Willy Woo. So according to him, we had that huge failed breakout last year in 19 from 4 to 14K as he describes, and part of the he attributes some of that to what he calls this organic move, right, where the price tracks money coming into the space and not just I guess whales pumping the price on futures markets. So according to him, this is organic. This is where the money starts flowing in. I guess the OTC desks, and let me see here. I can scroll down a little more. I think I saw him speculating as to where this money's coming from. But basically, institutional investors, big players. I guess the guys with the big money, the smart money, is deciding to get on board right here. This is we've dipped below 10K a few times, and they guess they're getting on board right here. This might be the point of departure, boys. At least for the 10K Moon Boys. Let me just fix a little something on the OBS screen here.
Price will never be below 10K.
I was gonna say that, and I don't think he posted that that same sentiment the last time we did this. So he did it like 4 different times, and the time that we're actually looking legit.
I know, right?
Yep, as Willy Woo says.
I was right about EOS back in 2018 too. It was never that price again.
Perfect. You should go apply for his job or just start doing your own.
You're going to be the new Bitcoin. What's his website? Bitcoin Bull or .com or?
Wasn't it Catternaut or something like that?
Hodlnaut? No, that's somebody else.
Yeah, no, it's Woobull.
Woobull, that's right, Woobull. So we can always get our daily dose of bullish content thanks to Willy Woo, who says who's been buying the rally? Well, according to Willy Woo, it's smart money, high net worth individuals. You can see the average transaction value between investors taking a big jump upwards. OTC desks are seeing this too. Bitcoin is still in the stealth phase of its bull run. Well, that's cool. I love being up 50% in the last few weeks and being told that I'm still in a stealth phase. I'm still flying under the radar with my fat gains. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, I'm just going to quickly review the last few comments in the live chat. Mr. Ether says, take a look at my very, very long-term chart on TradingView. I'm going to have to look at that, Mr. Ether, but I'm guessing he's what? He's looking
I
at
think
like...
he's making fun of something.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, if you look at 10 years of Bitcoin price data, it sure looks parabolic. Only the best says 2030, $1 million Bitcoin, maybe. Let's see here. Philip Carr seems to concur with the sensible lady from Wyoming. S. Hyatt says nice. Hataki Kakashi says wouldn't recommend Caribbean islands right now with global warming. Well, it's a good thing I don't believe in climate change. Damon Hughes, just go somewhere cooler in
Climate
the
change
summer.
believes in you, Jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, boys, I'm skeptical about it, but Damon Hughes says go somewhere cooler in the summer. You know what? My second pick might be Antarctica, so we might be on to the cooler front. I respect Raul. Wonder what his cotton price equates to 1 billion Bitcoin. So now we're trading cotton against Bitcoin. Jack, you weren't watching. You were at the wheel. Nope, I was not at the wheel, my boy. All right, let's get out of this mirrored section here and dive.
Inception in that.
Yeah, we got real inception going on the screen here. Sorry, guys, you're watching YouTube on YouTube on YouTube.
What does that mean?
No, that was all me. That was all me because I had to dive back into it. But I'm gonna switch scenes real quick now, and we're gonna get into. I guess we can go here. All right, gentlemen, and a few ladies in the audience. Approaching 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. I think we got another solid show under the belt. I hope it answered everybody's questions. We got the audience here. I think I saw somebody ask earlier, how's Justin doing? Justin doing okay. He will probably be back this week once he's back on his feet, feeling a little better. But everybody else, hang in there. Enjoy the week. Enjoy your gains. Take your profits where you need to. And strap in. This ride is not over yet. Any final thoughts from our dear analysts?
Nope. I guess just for now, follow the trend until it ends. The good thing about price being so bullishly postured is that when price does turn, we're going to get a really quick baseline flip. Like baseline is just tearing its way up right behind Bitcoin. So I would wait until we cross back below the baseline and then hey, it's finally short time, but ain't happened yet.
Yeah, and I would say don't be very hesitant here. Let price do what it's going to do. Don't jump into any positions here. I think the wise thing to do if you weren't already in a position like last night was the proper time to call some of these positions, stuff like that. If you're not in it already, don't go jumping into this. This is going to be extremely volatile. We're going to whip around. We're going to have sell-offs that people aren't expecting. I say just kind of let's just see what it does here, and then when we have that evidence that we are getting a trend flip, then we'll go for the big short. I mean, shorting in the middle of the day trying to catch these things, I don't think is the right move. I think that we are in uncharted territory here, and until we get that crazy big blow off top, I think we continue up.
Yeah, try not to buy that blow off top, guys. Don't FOMO into a long position just because we break 20K.
Yep.
Although maybe that would be smart,
but exciting stuff. It's super exciting.
Super exciting, guys, and we're going to be keeping everybody up to date with daily market updates. So shout outs to the usual audience. Thank you everybody who joined us today.
Thanks, guys. Trade safely.
Have a good one.
All right, that's it, boys. We are going to the close. Thank you again, everybody. Join us. Hit that like button, and be sure to check us out, premium.krakencryptocurrency.com, if you want to learn how to trade like a pro. But we'll see everybody tomorrow morning, and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers, everybody. Heading to the exits. Peace.